According to reports and pending a physical, the Giants have come to terms on an agreement to bring back Jihad Ward, who was an edge rusher on the team last year. It's all brought to you by Prime Point. My name is John Schmelk, joined as always by the one and only Paul Dottino. And Paul, Jihad Ward was a very important player last year with all the injuries on the edge, with Kayvon Thibodeau missing games earlier in the year, Azeez Ojulari with the calf issues throughout. He stepped in and did an excellent job as a backup to those two players.
Well, you know, John, he's really not known as a pass rusher. He's more of a run defender who does set the edge, but his size, his strength really allows him to work off against that run game while the other guys worry about trying to get to the quarterback and coming on that blitz that Wink Martindale likes to use so effectively. And so that's what makes him important, because he is the contrast, if you will, to those other guys who are trying to get after the passer. He played 60% of the snaps last year, a career high amount of snaps, 657. But to me, his value isn't just in stats. It's about the fact that his nickname is the live wire, because he's an emotional spark plug. He's like a keg of dynamite out at practice, out on the sideline during the game, and even out there on the field in the huddle. You talk about attitude. You talk about inspiring other guys to pick up their game, or needing a pat on the back, or even get screamed at occasionally because they've got to pick their game up. That's what this guy does. He's an emotional leader. That's why Wink Martindale, when he got to the Giants, he told the Giants, look, this guy who I had in Baltimore, this is a guy who's going to be a great locker room guy. You want to build something? This is a guy who can help lay the foundation and the bricks for the house that we are trying to put up.
Yeah, he's not your traditional edge player in the modern NFL. 6'5", 287 pounds. He can play inside, Paul, as well as out. 3 sacks last year, 13 quarterback hits, 4 passes defended. Does a good job knocking balls down at the line of scrimmage with his length, and a career high 7 tackles for loss last year with 2 forced fumbles. So really effective year last year. And again, to your point, on first and second down, he's a guy you want out there because he's very, very sturdy against the run.
Well, and also versatile. Let's not forget, you mentioned inside, outside. He can play standing up. He can play with his hand in the dirt. He can even go in and play some defensive tackle or defensive end if you want him to. I mean, he's part of that whole kaleidoscope defense that Martindale specializes in. He doesn't want the offense to know what each guy on the field is about to do on a given snap. And so even though we know that Ward's not going to be a blitzer and not much of a pass rusher per se, it still doesn't mean you know exactly what it is he's going to do within the scheme on that specific play.
Yeah, and then he's a guy, you mentioned, a veteran leader in the locker room. I think they're very happy with his veteran presence there. Very emotional. He fires guys up. He gets them going. And he's comfortable with Wink's system. And now, you take a look at that edge spot, Paul. You have Azeez Ojulari. You have Kayvon Thibodeau. Ellerson Smith should be coming back as well. And then you have Jihad Ward. So it's a nice group they have in that spot. And you could probably still add some more in the draft as you get towards the end of April.
What's the common thread to all those guys, John? They're all young. They're still learning. They're still maturing. They're still growing. They want a leader in that room to kind of show them the way, to bounce stuff off of, to give them advice, to be the big brother, if you will. And let's not forget about Timon Fox. He had some flashes last year as an undrafted rookie free agent.
He did.
He was kind of raw, but you know what? He played some important snaps for this team, and he gave them some stoutness against the run, and he gave them some occasional pass rush. I don't know exactly right now how these snaps are going to be divided up this year, but it's nice to know that the Giants have a room full of young guys who have each shown potential in their own way. And now it's simply a matter of trying to cultivate it, grow it. And that's exactly one of the reasons that Ward is here and remains here, because he's one of those guys who, much like a coach, can continue to bring the best out in those guys in the room.
Yeah, Fox wasn't a pleasant surprise as an undrafted free agent last year. Played really well in the time that he got. Jihad Ward, again, according to reports, the Giants have agreed to terms pending a physical. He's back in Big Blue. Exciting. For Paul Dottino, I'm John Schmelk. It's all brought to you by Prime Point. We'll see you next time.